We often think of ourselves as being stuck on this planet Earth, unable to move unless we get in a rocket or something. And even if we were in a rocket, where could we go? We'd be limited to staying within our own solar system, right? Wrong. You see, it's not just you that's moving. Everything around you is also moving, including the sun, the planets, and yes, even the stars. It's just that everything is moving together so smoothly and steadily that you don't notice. But let's take a step back and look at things from a different perspective. What if we looked at our solar system from far away? Well, what we would see first of all is that it's moving. The Earth and everything else in the solar system is racing around the sun at about 67,000 miles per hour. That's fast, but it's nothing compared to how fast our galaxy is moving. The Milky Way is whizzing through space at about 1.3 million miles per hour. That's over 19 times faster than our solar system is moving around the galactic center. Now that's really fast, but it's still not the fastest thing in the universe. Let's take a look at some of the other objects in space and how fast they're moving. Let's start with our closest neighboring star system, Alpha Centauri. This system is about 4.4 light-years away and is actually the closest exoplanet system to our own. There are 3 stars in the Alpha Centauri system, Alpha Centauri A and B, which are very similar to our Sun, and Proxima Centauri, which is a red dwarf. All 3 stars are orbiting each other with a period of about 200 million years. This means that the stars are moving in a constant circular path around their common center of mass, but these numbers are just averages. You see, the motion of these stars is chaotic, meaning that sometimes they get closer together and sometimes they get farther apart. For example, Alpha Centauri A and B are currently separated by about 11.5 trillion miles. But they will only be that close to each other once every 80 years. At their farthest, they'll be about 26 trillion miles apart. Now, since these stars are orbiting each other, they're not moving in a straight line. But let's assume that they're perfectly still for a moment, and just focus on their movement towards us. We can do this because no matter what direction they're moving in, they're still getting closer to us over time. Why? Because their speed relative to us is the sum of their individual speeds. Since they are moving towards us at about 197,000 miles per hour, and the Milky Way is moving at about 1.3 million miles per hour, that means that Alpha Centauri is actually approaching us at about 1.5 million miles per hour. And that's just the speed of the star system as a whole. The individual stars are also orbiting each other, so they're also moving within that. So the actual speed of the stars relative to us is even faster. But Alpha Centauri is just our closest neighbor. What about more distant stars? Well, there's actually a cluster of stars known as the Hyades that are about 150 light-years away, and they are actually moving away from us at about 3.3 million miles per hour. That's over twice the speed of Alpha Centauri relative to us. And that's just the speed of the stars. The actual star systems are moving even faster. For example, one star system known as Sigma Octantis is about 370 light-years away, and it's moving away from us at about 11 million miles per hour. That's almost 8 times the speed of Alpha Centauri relative to us. And finally, let's look at the Sagittarius cluster, which is about 17,500 light-years away. This is a dense cluster of hundreds of stars, and it's moving towards us at about 30 million miles per hour. That's over 20 times the speed of Alpha Centauri relative to us. So, you see, we're actually moving through space at a very high speed, and everything around us is moving along with us. The Earth is moving at about 1.3 million miles per hour through the universe. That's pretty fast. But it's also pretty amazing when you think about it. We're just a small planet on a small solar system in a small galaxy, and yet we're moving through the universe at incredible speeds. So next time you feel like you're stuck on Earth, just remember that you're actually moving through the cosmos at 1.3 million miles per hour.